Right. So you mentioned a moment ago about the hidden cost of hiring decisions wrong. So talk to me a little bit about what you meant by that.
Yeah, well, I think there's so many strands to that in terms of not being able to attract the right person, losing the right person through the process, being able to identify the right person during that process, and then being able to close that person through the
Yeah.
process as well. And then after that, you're then looking at the onboarding, the training, the induction, and how you integrate that person into the team.
Mm.
But I think it was a stat the other day where I think a typical kind of management level 40 to 50K role, if you hire the incorrect person in terms of advertising spend,
Yeah.
time during the recruitment process, time lost in training and productivity from others when they're involved in that training, and any kind of ramification of the back that was over £30,000 for one person,
Wow.
which when you take that into consideration, when you take into the fact that you're probably questioning how long do companies spend on building their recruitment processes, and is it based off quantifiable decisions,
Hmm.
like you said, the scorecard
Yeah.
process,
Yeah.
having that structure, everyone going through the same process, so you've got an actual benchmark of measurement for each individual, or is it, or I just like them, or it was my gut's telling me this. I don't want to rely on your gut.
No.
No one wants to rely on your gut.
No.
So then you are really going down a rabbit hole of, essentially, you've just told me you have no idea why this person's the right person.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
think when you're talking about about things like that, there's so many opportunities to get it wrong, and therefore so many opportunities to waste money
Mm.
and spend, that, yeah, why won't they come back to just building that process out?
I don't know because there's a very famous saying that I'm sure you're more than familiar with, as I think most of the people listening to this will be, which is that if you,
Millions.
yeah, yeah, millions,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, that if you think using me as an expense is expensive, try using an amateur. Now,
Yeah.
so
Or a
which I
bad
guess
process.
if you're a plumber. I mean, I guess that probably makes you think a little bit sooner. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't want somebody to come and do bad plumbing, but why do we entrust these hiring decisions to people who are in a job not because of who they recruit?
Yeah.
They're in a job because they're good at that job, and recruitment might be a small part of that.
Yeah.
But then they say you're expensive, but your whole job, your whole career in recruitment has been about recruiting the right person and putting them in the right job.
Yeah.
So you are the expert.
Yeah.
So again, the value for money, surely, it,
Yeah. I think it's, look, we've obviously got a lot of people in the recruitment industry. Some follow very good practices,
mhm.
some are questionable and things like that. I get that. I get our reputation isn't amazing, but it just hiring a person cannot be seen as transactional.
No.
As soon as you're breaking it down to, oh, it's too expensive, in the short term, it is a cost.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's a cost. But just as if you didn't use us, it's still a cost.
Mm.
There's still time, people involved in the process, and time lost, and things like that. But you've got to think about the ROI. So, like we said earlier, a person is in their job to either make money or save money.
Yep.
If you employ the right person, there will always be an ROI, regardless of what your spend is at the start,
Yep.
as long as your company is built to retain. Um, so yeah, so it's the whole thing of it's the whole thing of giving the recruitment process the respect and care that it needs
Hmm.
to find that right person.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you absolutely will see a recruitment agency as just a cost.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you'll be completely blinkered and thinking, actually, we could partner with this recruitment agency. They could help build our team. There is going to be a cost, but the long term success is exponential, really. Because like I said, we'd go in, we can audit their process, we can go for actually we need to make these changes here, we can build out induction packs, we can do training videos. There's loads that we can do
Yeah.
and will do if we get the partnership, if we get the opportunity to work with the company,
Hmm.
not just dive in, fill a role and leave. Right? That's of no benefit to anyone
No.
apart from a quick buck, and we don't care about that. It's that's realistically that's not going to build our business.
Mm.
We want long term strategic partnerships,
Yep.
and that comes through working internally to external. So what's going on internally? What do we improve? Build those foundations, then you can recruit.
Yeah.
You can't recruit for a bad process because
No.
you will get it wrong.
Absolutely, and like you say, that you'll end up costing yourself more money when you have
Yeah,
to repeat it.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
think, you touched on other things earlier about people being pulled in to do other jobs. If your manager's doing something, your ops director's probably doing what the ops manager should be
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
So therefore, there's another hidden cost
yeah,
to
absolutely.
to the recruitment process, and the longer that goes on for, obviously, the more expensive it gets. Um, and I think it's morale damaging as well for the rest of your team
Yes,
as well. So, another cost there is that
excess work.
actually not hiring somebody may mean that somebody else moves on,
Yep,
somebody that you
absolutely.
absolutely don't want to lose,
Yep,
but it's just too much.
yeah, and you cannot quantify that
No, no,
until it's happened,
yeah,
and then you're under. It's like you said, if someone is taken out of that hierarchical structure,
yeah,
that level will collapse one
yep,
naturally.
yeah.
It has to
Well, it has to,
make
yeah,
up the
because the person at the
gap.
bottom still needs their questions answering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's yeah, there's so many hidden costs to getting it wrong that why wouldn't you give a good recruitment agency the
yeah,
opportunity? Because let's not forget, if you're working in the contingent model, we're a completely free service until someone actually starts.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the risk is all ours.
Yeah, it is. It
Mm.
absolutely is. Now, don't get me wrong; it's a terrible business model.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
when
don't
you
know who
think
came
about
up with
it.
that.
Yeah, when you think about it, but we then have to back ourselves to work with you to find that right person.
Yeah.
So yeah, so no, that's the really interesting, and I think if we are moving on, then if we're essentially tearing apart a process internally.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of it starts with the job description, right?
Hmm.
That's because that's all right, we'll look at the passive market. If you're looking at the active market, you're looking to proactively engage through that job description.
Yeah.
Why are we writing such terrible job descriptions?
You mean with just bullet points and effectively a list of tasks and chores?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which 95% of job ads are. I mean,
Absolutely.
that is, if you break it down, that is a sales document
Yep.
for your company, for that role,
Yep.
for the hiring manager they're going to be working with. And there's so little consideration in terms of, if we're going to break it down, that opening statement, that is essentially a subject line for an email.
Yep.
That needs to get them clicking.
Yeah.
And then build on that with explaining the profile in a really positive manner. Be truthful. And yeah, absolutely, you need to explain what they're going to be doing, but also what's in it for the candidate.
Absolutely.
Why would they want to work with you? Have you got really good ESG
Yep.
goals, or are you working on some really advanced engineering technology that's going to excite them? Have you got some really interesting projects coming up that's going to change the landscape for the business? Why do they want to join?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would they join? Why would they want
Yeah.
to work for you? Why would they want to do the job?
Yeah.
And why would they apply?
Absolutely.
You know, answer those questions emphatically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like emphatically. I
If you
don't
can't, you
hesitate.
know the something wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
don't oversell it because you've got to be truthful, but at least position the job as attractive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With career progression and scope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Even have talk in there like, okay, first 12 months, this is what success would look like.
Yep.
First 2 years, this is what could potentially happen. 5 years, this is what we're looking at. 10 years, whatever it is,
Yeah.
build in some sort of almost like a carrot for them to chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that's it, if you want the ambitious person. Obviously, if you don't want the ambition, because every company can't have a company full of rising stars,
No,
because everyone would just leave. So you
absolutely.
need people who are, again, really kind of content in what they do, and that's a completely different selling prospect. Then you're talking about stability, longevity, work-life balance, and things. The language and how you write it becomes different.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree. I think that it is an inherent problem
Yes,
that
it's laziness.
it pretty much, yeah.
It
Yes,
is
yes. I've already done this in the job
laziness
spec, so
or lack of time.
um and also probably just a lack of understanding that
Yes.
actually people don't want it to look like that.
No.
And that's what it's about really, isn't it?
No.
Engaging people with it. So
Exactly. There's
yeah,
a
yeah.
there's a reason Indeed have just changed their algorithm.
Have they?
Yes. Yeah. So now it's very much akin to that opening line. That needs to be a sales line,
Right.
because that's, if you look on the left hand side, that's what will appear under the job title. So that's really
Uh,
important. The headings that you use have to be completely clear in terms of what am I looking at? Where's the salary? Skills,
right.
job
Yeah.
responsibilities. They need to be really crystal clear where they are. Um, Benefit tags, hugely important now.
Right.
Hugely important. Yeah, they play a significant part now in terms of where your job now stands in the the list of job results.
So this is the hashtags and putting them
So Indeed have an inbuilt tagging function for benefits. So we're
right.
talking like, you essentially, when you're going through the process of adding that job into Indeed, you'll
Mhm.
get to the benefits section. You can add like private medical, on-site
Right.
gym,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
um, you know, pension contributions, holiday, company car, things like that. And
Mhm.
there are set ones there, right? And the more you add of those, because it now appears at the very top of the job description on the right hand side when you're looking at the full
Right.
document.
Okay.
Indeed, I'm assuming through an AI tool,
Yeah.
will pull out the benefits that it feels are most applicable to those candidates
Right.
and put it at the top.
All
So
right.
the more
Okay.
that you put there, the higher up the rankings it will go. SEO still plays a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the job title in there
Yeah.
4 to 6 times, or whatever that search term is going to be. Um, Keep the job title to the job title. Don't add extra bits like day shift or
Yeah.
night shift or company car.
Yeah.
Reduces the impact massively. If we're looking at a field service engineer, and then you put have dash no
Yeah.
weekends, that's going to appear lower than a job title that just says
Yeah.
field service engineer.
With you.
Yeah. So yeah, there are certain things that you can do, but yeah, there is a reason that Indeed's changing their algorithm to suit towards that sales That's that kind of the sales led job ad with really good benefits, and that
Mhm.
is because that's what candidates want,
Okay.
or that's what they deem candidates
Yeah. That's what they're
deem
telling
as the kind of the most important things to look at on a job description.